This is Rhyder, Slim Chance Outdoors. I appreciate y'all checking out the video. Some of y'all are watching, some of y'all liking. If you could like and subscribe every time, it'd be awesome. Leave a comment if you want. We're going to show some of the mounts that I have. Some of the other deer. I have so many. There's so many that haven't been mounted. There's tons of antlers in the shop. And I have hogs and coyotes. I haven't got on the wall. They're still at the taxidermist. Some are still in the freezer, to be honest. But I figured I brought 3 in here off the wall. Got one that's just from right behind my parents' house next door. I got one from public land, one from Texas. I had a mule deer in there. I'll show you here in just a little bit. Got a nice turkey in there, but we'll get to that when we get in there. So I'll go ahead and I'll quit talking and wasting time for y'all. I'll get to showing y'all what y'all really want to see. So we got this one here, and his ears. This is one I did myself. So his ears are a little, one of the first few I did, but he's a little bit. I did the ears a little bit too far, so they're split a little bit. But he's I guess you could almost count him as a 9 with this, but I mean a ring hangs on it. But what do you know? But he's a good buck. Texas deer, I mean, you know how they grow if you know. If you don't, for the most part, unless you pay some money, their racks aren't amazing. If you ask me, Oklahoma's a little bit better. But that's him. He's a Texas deer. It's not really, it was so long ago, there's no real big story. He went out hunting, he just come in. It was simple as that, really. For him, good buck. I mean, is what he is, but got bigger since. I mean, his body was good. He was only about 175 pounds. I guess you could say it's big for down there. But we got this guy right here. This is my first true double white patch. It's kind of hard to tell in the video, but he's a good buck. I mean, he's just a nice 8-point. He is public land. It's public land. It's not too far from the house. I got him year before last, actually. And man, I was out there. I was sitting on the ground, base of a tree. I kind of thought I saw him, and then I started hearing hogs, and I thought it was going to be over. They moved on, and the doe come. And it was November 12th, I believe, 12th, 13th, and the doe come running in, literally jumped over the top of me, sitting there, and big tall spike. I mean, he was a 3-point technically, but he was a 1.5 tall spike. He was ridiculous. But he came in, was running, chasing straight to her, straight down her path, but ran around me instead of jumping over me. And I was turning back and looking for them, and I heard something behind me, and my brain automatically went to squirrel. But then, wait a second, you know, them squirrels will get you. But I was like, that's a little bit different. And I turned around, and he's just standing there, probably 12, 13 yards, maybe max. I mean, and I shot him with my Matthews Z2. Good buck, especially public land. I haven't had any of these guys scored. I just haven't done it. I'm not big on it, really. I'm going to get to doing it so we can find out. Just haven't. Just don't. Got this guy. He's a nice dude. I kind of like to count him as a 10. This little guy here, I mean, depending on where you're at and how you score, I mean, if it counts or not, but it's a good buck. I got him 2 years ago, and he was civil enough as me and my wife went out to check cameras, and if it's during the season, I'm checking cameras. I carry whatever is legal means of taking at that time. I'm glad I did. He was out there, and he isn't missing. He isn't missing an eye guard. He has it. He actually has a little bitty drop tine you're not going to be able to see going into the top of his skull. But anyway, he was out there, and I don't know if honestly if he may have had a brain worm or what, but he was doing circles, and he might have been 20 yards, 10 to 20 yards. I really don't know. I didn't range. I was carrying a crossbow usually with my compound, but I had my crossbow with me that day, and he was doing circles. I waited, and he turned that last circle, and I shot, and he ran about 10 yards max. He face planted and rolled, but I'll get up to show you guys that tine that rolls back, and there's a drop tine coming here. It goes straight into his skull. It's pretty cool. Couldn't really tell. I only had 2 or 3 pictures of him, and they were nighttime. And they were months before season that year. So, but he came in. I'm glad I got him out of there. I don't know, like I said, if it was brain worm or if he had something else wrong with him, but either way, he was a decent enough buck. It's the only buck I got that year. I hunted, but I was looking for a way bigger buck and that I had pictures of, and it ended up not happening. I think a neighbor actually got the bigger buck that I was looking for. It's about how it works, but see how that goes. You'll see how that goes if you get into hunting much, and if you're already into it, you already know what I mean. Small acreage is what he was on. I was hunting for those 2 years. I was just hunting public, and right behind the house, 5 acres behind the house. So you get what you get kind of on that point, and you can wait. But like I said, I'm not a crazy trophy hunter. Got some bigger bucks this year, so I'm kind of trophy hunting this year, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hunting on 160 acres this year, and I did last year, and I got a buck last year. He's taller. He might score more if I actually had him scored than these 2 guys. These 3 really that I showed you, but he's down at my parents' house. He's just going to be a he's not going to be a shoulder mount. Sorry about that. But he's a nice buck, and he's the only one I got last year. My wife got her first little buck last year. She got it out of the way. She got a little 3-point. It's just some pictures of him. My nephew, he got for a first buck. I know a lot of you guys have been hunting for a while will understand my frustrations with that. I was proud of him, but I was kind of upset because, you know, a lot of us started and we got the spikes, but there's no point in being negative about it. There's no reason to. He was happy. I was happy. Got to help him with it for a first buck, second deer ever. He got a nice 10-point. I'll put up some pictures of that on here. But anyway, let's skip over and let's go over here to the other room. We got some bucks. Some of them were found, some of them were taken. Most of them were here around the house. None of these are from my 160, and none of these here on the wall. Actually, it's a lie. That one's public, but the rest of those were just here around the house. There's some nice bucks. probably should have got a shoulder mount, but I probably would have ran out of wall space, to be honest with you. This guy, he's an awesome buck. This one here, he wasn't a very big deer. I don't know what he could have been. I probably should have let him go, but being such a small property, so many hunters behind him, around me, excuse me, I didn't want to take that chance to him get taken by somebody else, especially as cool as he is. So we have this guy, and he's just tried something different. He's in the process. He's still getting worked. He still needs some paint and rebrushed. He's a 16-point mule deer from Utah. Back here, we're gonna put some clay back there and put some prints in there, and that'll be in some future videos. But he's a mule deer with brow tines and kickers. And I realized in looking at him, I need to dust him. But he was a 22-pound turkey. He has I believe it was 11 3/4. I could look at the paperwork to be exact, but his spurs, I don't like how they're portrayed in this video, but they were inch and a quarter, sorry. And like I said, 11, I believe 3/4 beard and 21, 22 pounds. I got him when I was 8 years old. Porter, Oklahoma. He was biggest that year. That was awesome turkey. And I haven't got one near that big and ever since, honestly. So, guys, that's some of the deer I've taken. I have a shop out back. I have so many out there. I do some of my own taxidermy. I forgot to mention earlier this buck here. Awesome work. Amazing work. Great painting. Great sewing. You can't find anything. I mean, I use a taxidermist when I don't do my own. That buck and this one, actually, to be correct. But I do a lot of my own, like I said. But when I don't, I have a taxidermist out of Beggs, Oklahoma. Weatherman's Taxidermy. She does amazing work. Some of the best that I've seen with bobcat. Bobcat are not easy. You know anything about taxidermy, bobcats are not easy to do. Any cats, really. But she does awesome work. Y'all should really look her up. She's on Facebook. Good pricing. I'll say don't go basing your taxidermy just off pricing. Really focus on their work, and if you look through hers, I think you'll be impressed. She does some awesome work. But anyway, like I said, I have a lot of other bucks. I have a big 8, a big massy 8 from Mississippi out in the shop. It'll be mounted as soon as I can get it mounted. I'm waiting for carries on a lot of stuff, but I got a hog that's needing to be mounted. I don't have pictures of him. Excuse me, but hopefully we can keep adding to these. I have probably 15 to 20 other racks and deadhead finds and different things on the shop and over at the garage. But we'll see how that goes this year. On hunting, we have some bigger bucks, some really big bucks, and I might put some pictures of those up. You can kind of see what we may or may not get into, may or may not be able to get, but hopefully you guys are liking what we're putting out. We're going to try to get better. We got better equipment ordered, some some different camera arms, different cameras. Right now, we're working with what we got. We're definitely new at this. We're talking to the cameras. You got to get used to that. We're gonna get better. We're gonna be getting a lot more videos for you guys. I'm ready for season, so we can get a lot of videos and footage for you guys of some bucks and some does and just about anything that comes out. But I'm hoping you guys are liking it. Like I said, I appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing. Share it if you will. Tell people about us. We're new and up and coming, but I'm hoping you like it. And like I said, I'm rambling, but I appreciate you guys watching. Just keep looking forward. We're going to keep coming out with every Sunday videos, and we're going to possibly start getting you guys some middle of the week videos out. Once season comes, we may get, you may get more than that, but lots of property, a lot of deer coming. So y'all keep looking for us and keep watching for new uploads. Appreciate it.